Today is Friday, May 22nd. Today I want to talk about our commitment to service. In Matthew 20:28, Jesus said, "For the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give his life as a ransom for many." To be an imitator of Jesus Christ is to be committed to service. The first thing I want to say about our commitment to service is that it comes from our other commitments. Throughout this week, I've talked about the importance of commitment to Jesus Christ, commitment to the church, commitment to our family. And our commitment to service is built on these other commitments. The way we have a commitment to service is by doing all the things I've talked about throughout this week. So I'm going to start with the assumption that you've already made these foundational commitments. If you haven't, if you've not committed to God, to your family, to the church, then that's the place to start. A commitment to service will not last without these other commitments. But I'm going to start with the assumption that you've made these commitments, and I'm going to build from there. And I want to talk about James chapter 1, verse 27. That verse says, "Religion that God our Father accepts as pure and faultless is this, to look after widows and orphans in their distress, and to keep oneself from being polluted by the world." James said that real religion, true religion that God accepts, is to look after widows and orphans in their distress. It is a commitment to serve them in their needs. Now, this is not always as easy as it sounds. Some of you may remember a few years ago when we were adopting Pei-Li. Leanne and I went over to Taiwan, to the orphanage where Pei-Li was. And Leanne was able to stay in Taiwan for about 3 months. And she spent those months serving in that orphanage, caring for these children until they were able to be united with their adoptive parents. That is genuine religion. However, in the modern world, it's relatively rare that we have the opportunity to follow James' words in such a literal manner. We might desire to serve in that way, but we don't always have the opportunity. However, I think James' words can have a broader meaning than that. In James' society, the widows and the orphans were the people who could not protect themselves. A widow with no adult sons, or a child with no father, had very few legal rights and basically no way to support themselves. Most would end up as beggars, prostitutes, or slaves. These were the people who could not defend themselves. So, who is it in your life that you know who cannot defend themselves? Who is it that finds themselves somewhat helpless? Perhaps it is an orphan, a child in need of a parent, or if not someone in need of a parent, then a child in need of a role model. Perhaps there is a child you know who needs someone to look after him. Maybe you know a child who needs someone to show her the right way to live, to guide her in life, to protect her from the attacks of the world, to be there for her even when her own parents are not. Or maybe it's a widow or a widower you know. Or if not a literal widow, someone who is struggling with the challenges of age. Someone who needs a little extra help in life. Right now, maybe it's someone who is stuck in their home or in a nursing home who just needs to hear a friendly voice a little more often. Who is it that you know who cannot defend themselves? Because true religion that is acceptable to God our Father is a commitment to serve those who cannot help themselves. May God be with you, and I'll see you tomorrow.